Hello YouTube, Messenger and Bala here with another video. Now, in my last video, I was talking about Goldberg's recent video that he uploaded, and I 100% agree with him all the way. That being said, I did mention briefly about my ex, and I kind of want to dive deep into it because recently I've been having flashbacks of my ex and why I end up breaking up with her. Without a doubt, and this is getting a little personal, but I really wanted to share this because I have a gut feeling this is going to be a common reasoning of why men are giving up in dating. And at the same time, I have a gut feeling we're going to see this, or well, we already see this already, but a lot of people do not want to admit because of the taboo nature of this, what I like to call culture acceptance. Now, before I delve deeper, first let me go back to the basic. And sorry guys if I pause. I'm trying to think how I could say this properly for you guys to understand. So this picture right here, this screenshot, and as usual I always pick a screenshot related to the subject of the video that I'm talking about. This screenshot that I took is from a video of a woman confessing her lifestyle of cosplaying and what she was doing and her love of cosplaying, but she quit. She quit cosplaying, and later in the video, especially towards the end, she mentioned something very taboo. And this taboo that she mentioned could potentially ruin her quote unquote reputation, but her reputation was already ruined because this taboo reputation that she has is she kind of, how do I say this, express it out in the open with very little shame. And people, they attempted to shame her, but she doesn't give a damn because she actually enjoys it. And that taboo that I'm talking about is essentially being a sex worker, being a slut, being a the W word, the whore. Yes, I said it. But no, in all seriousness, this woman, she admits it in the video, and she doesn't give a damn what people thinks about it. She likes it and she's open about it. And people did attempt to shame her, but she didn't care. She likes it. And later, towards the end of the video, she admits that she wants to continue doing this, continue doing the taboo lifestyle, and she wants to sleep around. And for some reason, me on a personal level, while I morally disagree and kind of discouraged about it, I honestly develop a massive respect towards her. Massive respect towards her because there was a quote from one of the MGTOW videos that I used to watch. Nowadays, I honestly don't really watch it, but I clearly remember watching a YouTube channel called Voice for Men, and in that YouTube channel, one of his videos, he said something that really stuck to me. He said, "Not not all women are honest whore, but all whores are honest women." That line really stuck to me, and for some reason, over time throughout my life, especially after dealing with a painful breakup with my ex, I started to develop a soft spot and a deep respect for women who openly and honestly, a big word, honest, about their sexuality, about their, um, how do I say this, taboo sexual engagement, like casual sex, all that stuff, but they do it openly and they do it honestly. I have a massive respect for those type of women, especially women who are honest about it and don't feel shame about it. And why I develop massive respect is because if you guys think about it, and literally, no joke, think about it, guys. these type of women will be straight up honest with you and be very transactional of what they want to do with you, especially in the fun side. And if you want a long-term relationship with them, well, again, they'll be honest with you. They'll either reject it or they'll just say, "Hey, I just want to have fun and nothing serious." And of course, they'll skedaddle after you have your fun with them. And if you guys think about it, that's a very honest transaction, very honest form of communication between a man and a woman. And me, I highly respect that. Why I highly respect that is because the problem is what we're seeing nowadays, and me, sadly, on a personal level, I had a bad experience with this, is that women, they'll try to use up a man in the long run, and they don't really respect their man. They don't really respect their time. They don't really respect the effort that the man is trying to put in the table. This is why a lot of men ends up in a sexless marriage, and then they end up with a horrible divorce. A divorce that traumatized them, sink them very low, physically, mentally, you name it, sometimes spiritually, and it utterly destroys them. But when a man is communicating, engaging with a woman that's very prosperity. Yeah, for some reason I can't say it. I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. A woman that opensly engage casual sex, engage, you know, sexuality very casually, nothing serious, just want to have fun. If you guys think about it, that's a very honest transaction, especially if a man understand that the woman just want to have fun, nothing long-term serious, nothing, nothing serious in the long run, just short-term fun. And when the fun is over, part away. Think about it, guys. That's a very honest transaction. And that being said, if you guys also think about the shaming, the tactics of woman shaming, this is coming from the female side. And you guys are going to notice that men, alright, the reason why women engage casual sex openly, like this type of woman right here that I'm showcasing, and keep in mind, I'm not trying to shame her or anything, or this video is not me harassing or bullying her. I'm just using her as an example. This woman, the reason why she engaged this type of stuff is because most of the interaction and respectful interaction that people generally kind of like her are coming from the male side. The shameful tactics, the slut shaming, all that stuff, especially people who are antagonizing her, that's coming from the female side. And literally, guys, think about it. Think about why sluts or women who are engaged in, you know, open casual sex so casually is because most of the respect, most of the support is coming from the male side. If the male gender as a whole, think about it, guys. If a male gender as a whole starts to slut shame, starts to disrespect these type of women, then these women will not engage open sex or casual sex, being a whore, doing all this taboo stuff out in the open. But no, in reality, again, in reality, most of the slut shame, most of the drama that these women face are coming from the female side, not the male side. And the male side, they obviously support this type of woman, they obviously engage in this type of woman, and they obviously want to have a chance to sleep with this type of woman. And in some cases, they get rewarded with sleeping with her. So, again, coming from, well, the support is coming from the male side, while the antagonizing stuff is coming from the female side. that being said, what does my ex has to do with all this? Okay, so from my personal experience, and this sadly, I have a gut feeling this is something very common, what a lot of men go through, and this is why MGTOW, the red pill, black pill, you name it, why is it becoming popular? It's because my ex essentially wasted my time. I was with her around 5 years. It was a little less than 5 years, but still around there. And when I say wasted my time, I mean I clearly remember from the beginning of the relationship, throughout the relationship, I did my best on my part, did my best to be a good boyfriend, to be a good lover. But there were moments in the relationship where it didn't felt like I was doing enough. Now, my ex, she did like me enough to take me out, especially when I didn't have a car. At the very beginning, I did not have a car, but around a year or 2 year, I end up did having my very own car for the very first time in my life. And because I love her, I gave my car to her temporarily while she was getting her car repaired. Again, relationship goes both ways. And my ex, she did a lot for me. She took me out. We went field trips, etc., etc. The typical boyfriend and girlfriend stuff. But what was the issue here? The issue is that there were moments, and it's hard to describe it. I bet a lot of guys will understand this, that especially guys who been in a relationship. But there were moments when I was interacting with my girlfriend, or should I say, with my ex, that it didn't felt genuine. And when I say it didn't feel genuine, I'm talking about her reaction. There were moments I felt like she wasn't genuinely attracted to me. There were moments where I felt like she said some stuff, but in reality, when I see her in action, she does the other stuff. There was a lot of red flags that I personally ignore, and I choose to ignore them because I really badly in my head want this relationship to work, to last it for a very long time. But the one thing she did, and this forever traumatized me, forever ingrained into my brain, for forever in my memory, is when she friend zoned a guy for almost 10 years. This guy that was friend zoned for almost 10 years, he was already there in the picture way before I was in the picture. So, in other words, in the very beginning, when I first started dating her, he was already in the picture, but this guy, on her words, it was just a friend. Me, oh, naturally, I was kind of jealous because obviously I really wanted my girlfriend to be my girlfriend, my ex to be my girlfriend at the time. And in the end, when I got what I wanted, I didn't thought much about him. But what really spooked me was the fact that this guy was pursuing her for 10 years. 10 years, I repeat, 10 years, and this is not a joke. And yes, my ex, she was older than me. He pursued her for 10 years and he was stuck in the friend zone for that long. And what bothered me the most is when my ex confessed to me about her past, where she had several boyfriends before me. She did one night stands, she tried coke. And when I say coke, I mean like actual drugs, such as cocaine. She went out partying, she went out night clubbing, you name it. She wasn't ashamed of engaging in casual sex. And for some reason, at first it did bother me, but I shrugged it off because, that's all in her past. And now she's with me. But what really bothered me was seeing her. keep a man around that was friend zoned for 10 years. And it was very clear that this guy was a virgin at the time, because later, and this is kind of funny the more I think about it, but let me let me continue where I left off. Sorry guys. What really bothered me was the fact that he was in the friend zone for 10 years, and I bet my money that one during those 10 years she had several boyfriends, several one night stands, etc., having the time of her life. And this dude was not getting laid. He was not getting part of the action. But I saw the desperation in him. I saw the desperation in him, and that's why he lasted in the friend zone for 10 years. And I'm if I'm gonna be honest with you guys, if a man is pursuing a woman and he's in a friend zone, and a woman calls him a friend, that is not a friend. I'm sorry. That's not a friend. That's just a dude that's trying his best to get laid with you. Simple fact. And me seeing a man trying to pursue a woman for 10 years while she goes out partying, snorking drugs, and doing one night stands and having casual sex with strangers and having several boyfriends before him, um, that was like the final nail in the coffin for me. But what really traumatized me was seeing that guy, the desperation, trying his best to finally have her. And because the fact that my ex kept him around for 10 years, I repeat, kept him around for 10 years, for me, that was the final nail in the coffin. And I realized that my ex was playing with me, like not taking me seriously. And that's when I knew that this relationship would not last. And I was surprised that it lasted up to 5 years. I think I'm like her longest lasting relationship that she ever had. But yeah, I lasted for 5 years. So on my part, I decided to break up with her because I saw that this relationship was going to end very badly. And she wanted to take the relationship seriously, as in, she wanted to move out of her folks' place because she still lived with her folks. And what's sad is that she was in her, well, I shouldn't say her age, but she was definitely way past her prime years. That's all I gotta say. She was way past her prime years and she was still living with her folks like a freaking teenager or like a college girl, but she's way past her prime years. And the guy that was pursuing her for 10 years, he acted like he didn't care. And see, stuff like that is what I find it very funny and ironic, to the point where I look down at them with pity, because he was trying to look masculine, trying to look like a badass dude, but in reality, if I managed to get a woman before he did, especially the same woman that he was pursuing, then I'm sorry, I have zero respect for you. But I'm not gonna lie, I feel very pity for him. And I remember I wanted to tell him what I felt of me seeing him still pursuing that woman for 10 years. But I knew deep down, I knew that he would not give a fuck. He would not pay attention to what I have to say. So what ended up happening is that when I end up breaking up with my ex, and of course me breaking up with my ex instead of the other way around, devastated her. And of course she lashed out on me, and yeah, the breakup was terrible. What's funny is that she rebounded with him. And when I say rebounded, I mean she ended up getting into a relationship with him. And deep down, once I knew that, once I understand that was happening, deep down I knew that relationship would not last. It would not last. I repeat, it would not last. If she friend zoned him for 10 years, then there has to be a reason why she friend zoned for 10 years, and I have a good feeling it's the same reason why I felt like my relationship with her will not last for long term. And it's because one word, guys, attraction. So I feel like my ex was forcing herself with me because she knew that I really wanted her and I wanted the relationship to last long. So she kind of forced herself with me. And in my opinion, if a woman forces herself towards you, that's a huge red flag, very huge red flag, because that means that she doesn't really find you attractive, and that also means that she's with you for other reasons. Well, anyway, back to the subject where I was. I have a gut feeling that she wasn't really attracted to him, so she rebalanced with the guy and forced herself on him just to not lose the guy. And in my opinion, that's straight up freaking pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And I know that my ex could get other dudes better than him, but she's just being stupid, and more importantly, she does not take accountability for her actions. And what's funny is that she thinks that this is all rebellious. In reality, it's not rebellious, it's just stupidity, plain stupidity, because once I break up with her, I stop interacting with her, and of course, oh, sorry guys, I didn't know my mic is off. I Once I break up with her, I don't interact with her. I'm essentially out of her life. So in other words, there's no, how do I say this, reciprocal when it comes to breakup and cutting people off. If you guys think about it, this is why men go MGTOW. Men just stop dating. Because if there's no interaction with women, guess what? Women cannot do anything to you. The only thing they can do on their end is them coming after you, but that's gonna make them look bad as well. So it's a lose-lose game for them. All you have to do is just don't interact with them. So yeah, I just find this hilarious and stupid that my ex thinks this is all rebellious, but in reality, it's just plain stupid. So what's even sadder is that my prediction ended up being true. I knew that relationship would not last. They only lasted for 2 or 3 years. And now the dude is single, absolutely single, and he has to delete all his pictures in his social media. I'll admit I did follow him in social media because I was just plain curious, and he confessed. He confessed in social media that he's no longer with his girl anymore, and there's some screenshots and videos in the internet about that. But I'm not gonna showcase here because that's a little too personal, a little, yeah, personal territory. But anyway, ever since that breakup, ever since that experience, me witnessing a man being friend zoned for 10 years, and of course being out of the friend zone, but only lasted for 2 years. The more I think about it, the more funny I think about it, because literally that guy, he's very pitiful, very pitiful. I really wanted to tell him what I think, but I knew he will not give a damn. And it's very sad indeed. So sad that it actually traumatized me, and now I fully realize that when it comes to women, it's best to engage and interact with women who value your time. And this is where my respect towards, well, I know it's gonna sound bad, but my respect towards whores and women who openly engage casual sex and are not ashamed of casual sex and not ashamed to have fun, my respect towards them increase tenfold, because now I realize that's a very honest transaction, super honest transaction. If a woman truly value your time, they will be honest with you. And if you guys think about it, honesty is a good way to prevent, how do I say this, bad consequences from happening, But at the same time, having, what's the best way I could put it? Okay, women, they're known to at this point in the internet, it's a meme that women, they dodge accountability. When a woman is being honest, they essentially avoid accountability because the accountability is already briefly discussed in the very beginning, if that makes sense. So when a woman is being very honest about engaging casual sex, being a whore, and not ashamed of it, and they want to have fun with you, then there's no accountability because the accountability is already, you know, settled, if that makes sense. So at that point, is if anything else happened, is essentially the man's fault for not paying attention or for not honoring the honest transaction what a woman is doing. But yeah, that's why my respect towards women who are open about it increased tenfold. And looking back, I do have like, how do I say this? The heartbreak is still there, and I do not regret, but I do not regret um, my experience with my ex. Absolutely do not regret it. But now I know what to look for when it comes to romance. I had to pay very close attention when it comes to a woman, how she perceives me. Because if a woman doesn't perceive you correctly in terms of her looking at you as a partner, then there's going to be issue down the line in the relationship. But if a woman truly sees you as a partner, truly see you as something long term, as a husband, as a father of her babies, then in my opinion, that's a good sign. And of course, more importantly, that's a sign that the woman's wifey material. Even if she has a few past relationships, as long as a few, then it's still a good deal, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here, guys, because I feel like I ranted enough. But keep in mind, yes, it is true that if a woman has a very huge history with sleeping around with men, they're not wifey material in the long run, because there is a scientific study about it. But in my opinion, if a woman's being very honest with you, I truly believe that if an honest woman ends up breaking up with you, as long as she's honest with her part, and of course, more importantly, as long as she generally value your time, then the breakup shouldn't be that terrible. Because I've been noticing that when it comes to terrible breakups, it usually comes from a woman that never seen the man attractive in the first place, or husband material in the first place. That's just my personal opinion and my observation. But yeah, feel free to comment down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and of course, don't forget to like and subscribe, all that jazz. Well, guys, I'm gonna end it here because I feel like I ranted enough. Yeah, I've been way over the 20-minute mark. But yeah, please leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear them. Message in the bottom. Over and out.